So this question is asking us to work with compound interest, and it's asking us to think about an investment for 2 years. So what we've got to remember about compound interest is that you've got to work out the interest yearly and compound it, so each year you're getting more and more interest on interest. So several ways you can think of doing this question. You could do it year by year. So at the end of year 1 you would have 7,500 times 1.04. Now remember, this 4% interest is saying that we times by 1.04. That's because the original was 100%, so the 7,500 was originally 100% of the savings, and then we're adding the 4% on extra. So that gives us 104% at the end of the period, and that's the same as timesing by the decimal equivalent called the percentage multiplier. So it's important that we kind of recognise this on calculator papers, because it's much easier to work with percentages and percentage multipliers. So at the end of year 1 we would have the 7,500 times 1.04, and then at the end of year 2 we would take the amount we had at the end of year 1. And this is what it means by compounding, because we're now going to get extra interest compared to the previous year because we now got more money in the bank, and so therefore we're going to times by 1.04 again because it's another 4% on top, so we times by 1.04 again. So that gives us an answer of £8,112. So how much did Toby have in his savings account at the end of 2 years? He had £8,112. That's year by year approach. There is a quicker way of doing these, because this is an exponential function, because it's compounding. The effect is happening periodically, the same amount each period. So you can actually do this in a quicker way by doing 7,500 times 1.04 to the power of 2. The 2 is how many years, the 1.04 is the percentage multiplier for each year, and this is your initial investment. So if we do 7,500 times 1.04 squared, then we end up with 8,112. Same answer, just a quicker way of doing it. So if this was for 5 years, then we'd be doing 1.04 to the power of 5 and so forth. So that's a way of doing compound effects.